Camila Roman matches with Dr. Fernando Castel in Vegas on a dating app. After chatting for 11 days, they plan to meet. Fernando warns her that he's a hopeless romantic. He knows that Camila's job as a nurse is demanding and hopes she doesn't cancel at the last minute. She starts dancing dressed as a sexy nurse, which is her real job at the best club in Las Vegas, Golden Lips. When they finally meet, Fernando accuses Camila of making a fake profile to trap him because she seems more beautiful in person. She also teases him about looking different from his photos. They instantly vibe and feel like they've known each other forever. They dance with passion, after which Fernando invites her to his suite. What follows is a night of mind-blowing sex, but a man is watching them. Camila leaves for work in the morning and brags about dating a Colombian plastic surgeon who lives in Cartagena. She doesn't care that he's rich, because their chemistry is insane. She can't believe she met someone so great on a dating app. Fernando also can't get over how great Camila is. She seems like a dream, and he's sure the passion and fire they share are magical. Camila's friends are glad she found someone nice after suffering with her psychopath ex-boyfriend Vincent, who was watching them earlier. After 1 month of togetherness, even if it's in a long-distance relationship, Fernando surprises her. Camila is tired of Vincent chasing her and reminds him of the restraining order. One day on the beach, Camila admits that she's not a nurse, but a dancer, at Golden Lips. Dancing is her passion. She also clarifies that she never sleeps with her clients. She's worried he might judge her, but he wants to learn more about her life. His aim is to find his better half, get married, and start a family. They continue their relationship, and he keeps coming to support her at her work. After dating for 4 months, Camila reminds Fernando to be on time for dinner with her best friends, Milenka and Erica. He doesn't turn up all night and informs her in the morning that his sister had an accident. Her friends don't believe that's a real excuse, but Camila doesn't know why he would lie. He records a sexy video of her during their chat. When they don't meet for a while, Camila misses him and decides to surprise him in Cartagena. After landing, the driver, David, takes her to Alta Vista Cosmetic Clinic. She asks for Dr. Fernando Castel and meets an entirely different person with the same name. She shows the doctor that someone is using his name for a fake profile. Camila doesn't even have a picture of him, because the one time she tried to take it, he insisted on using his own phone. The fake Fernando's real name is Mikel Estevez. He calls Camila back and claims that he didn't get her messages. He mentions that he just landed in Buenos Aires and asks her to go back to Vegas. She starts heading towards the airport with David, but spots Riviera Esmeralda. She remembers Miguel mentioning it and asks David to stop there. Soon enough, she watches Miguel greeting his wife and daughter. David stops Camila from confronting Miguel right there. Chris, the manager at Riviera Esmeralda, offers to show her around. She begs David to play along so she can figure something out. Chris shows them House G, right next to Miguel's house. Chris realizes that their names differ from the couple he had to show around. Still, Camila promises that she's interested in the place and asks David to pretend to be her husband. Chris's boyfriend, Adrian Ferrer, is using the pool. He is soon opening his new restaurant, Mil Placeres, and is also the son of Pedro Ferrer, who owns Riviera Esmeralda. He still claims that his sister, Angela, who is Miguel's wife, is the sole heiress of the empire. Angela and Sofia, who is Luigi's wife, are glad to possibly have Camila and David as their new neighbors. Camila almost spots Miguel, but he's busy tending to his daughter, Eva. Camila misses her flight in all this, so David takes her to his grandma's hotel for the night. While playing golf with Miguel, Pedro suggests that he wants Miguel to take over as CEO. When Miguel tries to accept the offer, Pedro taunts him for not having any values or loyalty towards his daughter. Tina, Pedro's assistant, shows him some photos of Camila and confirms that she has arrived in Cartagena. When David shows her around, Adrian invites Camila to his restaurant opening that night. Camila realizes that she can't leave till she confronts Miguel. At Adrian's restaurant opening, Miguel joins the family for a toast. Vincent visits Camila's friends at the club and shows them that a video of her stripping for Miguel has been uploaded to a porn site. Camila meets everyone at the party and claims she's a psychologist. She's hoping to meet Angela's husband, but he has already left to check on their son, Lucas, who hurt his nose. When it seems like Miguel won't be coming to the party, Camila makes an excuse to leave. Miguel opens the door to find Camila, who finally gets to confront him. He assures her he never meant to hurt her, and it all started as a game for him. He didn't know Fernando Castel, but became obsessed with his life and wanted to live as freely as he did. That's when he uploaded the profile. She just laughs at him when he claims his feelings are real. Angela also arrives, so Miguel heads out to pretend that no one came to the house. That night, Chris proposes to Adrian. When Camila sneaks out of the house, Lucas spots her and confronts Miguel. The next morning, Miguel asks Rafael, the security guard in charge, to delete the footage of Camila. Adrian and Chris announce their engagement, but Pedro doesn't look happy. Camila's friends send her the video Vincent showed them, and she gets angrier at Miguel for recording her. When Camila finally moves in, Miguel is shocked to learn that she's renting the place next to him, with a husband he didn't know about. Pedro asks Tina to ensure cameras are inside Camila's house, even if it's illegal. He's running out of time and needs some proof against Miguel. Camila shows Miguel the video on the porn site when he comes to ask what she wants from him. Adrian walks in on Inti, a waiter, using the shower in the restaurant. When he learns that Inti is working double shifts, Adrian asks him to use the shower whenever he wants. Miguel doesn't know how the video got uploaded, but Camila doesn't believe that someone hacked his phone. Just then, David comes to the house, and Camila continues to pretend that he's her husband. When Miguel leaves, she asks David how much he makes as a driver every month. She offers to pay double for him to be her fake husband. He agrees to help, but he can't stay at night because he needs to help his grandma run the hotel. Camila assures him that he just needs to be there on some days. When he asks why she's getting involved, Camila insists she wants to punish Miguel enough so he doesn't hurt other women. They come up with backstories for themselves and fake accounts on social media so they look like a young and successful couple that travels a lot. Camila claims she has money to rent the place because she has been saving as a little girl. Sophia and Angela welcome Camila and David to the neighborhood, but Luigi is shocked when he remembers who Camila is. Angela invites them to lunch at their place, and Camila gladly accepts. When Camila and David join the family for lunch, Lucas recognizes her and leaves. Ava invites Camila to the pool, so Angela takes her to her room to change. Camila swipes Miguel's locker key card and is caught by Pedro sniffing his robe. She claims she likes Miguel's cologne and wants to buy it for David. All eyes are on Camila as she enters the pool, so Miguel excuses himself. Camila tries to chat with Lucas, who asks if she's sleeping with his dad. She denies it, but Lucas remembers the time his dad slept with another neighbor and drove her crazy. David accuses Miguel of fantasizing about his wife and claims that he has been with her for a year and a half. Back at home, Camila and David celebrate getting under Miguel's nerves. Camila is not worried about Lucas, but she wants to investigate the neighbor that Miguel had driven crazy. Vincent sends a message to Camila to warn her that he's closer than she thinks. Ivanka Evans, a famous influencer, starts promoting Adrian's restaurant. Inti assures him that even one post from her will make their restaurant viral. That night, Camila hears someone in the house, but she finds only Miguel when she steps out to check. Meanwhile, Chris asks Inti to ensure Adrian never finds out they know each other. When Camila admits that she fell in love with a sensitive, kind, and real guy, Miguel can't control himself anymore and kisses her. Before they know it, their clothes are off, and they're passionately having sex. Lucas watches all this from his room on a laptop and keeps cutting his hand. Angela finds him like that while watching the video of Miguel with Camila. Angela brings Lucas to the emergency room, and Miguel learns about it later. Tina assures Pedro that she doesn't know who installed the cameras in Camila's house. When Miguel arrives at the hospital, the doctor assures them that Lucas's cuts are superficial. He still wants Lucas to see a therapist. When they're alone, Lucas begs Angela to kick Miguel out of the house. He's also sure no one saw him installing the cameras. Angela asks him to let the cameras be if he wants to help her. Tina finds out that Lucas installed their cameras and ended up in the hospital when he saw Miguel with Camila. Miguel tries to talk to Lucas about what happened, but he ignores him. Camila reports that someone entered her bedroom and asks Rafael to check the security cameras. Miguel can't stop thinking about Camila and tries to explain to her that it was the best sex of his life last night. Angela learns that Lucas skipped school, shortly after which Tina finds him and takes him to Pedro. They decide to help each other by keeping a watch on the cameras. Camila has suddenly bought a car to upload on her fake profile and pretends that David got it for her. Miguel and Luigi meet a private investigator to learn more about Camila, while Tina tails them. When David thinks Camila is enjoying Miguel's attention, she asks him to leave. Pedro asks Angela to be his successor, but wants to know what Miguel did this time. He has always felt like she could have married a better man. Camila visits the spa to look inside Miguel's locker, where she finds a photo of a woman. Luigi almost catches her and informs Miguel about someone going through his locker. Angela is headed out for a yoga retreat but wants to cancel it because of Lucas. Miguel insists that she needs to pamper herself and assures her that he'll take care of the kids. Tina assures Pedro that Inti is working at the restaurant and is happy about his past with Chris. Adrian finds Inti hooking up with a girl and is confused because he thought Inti was dating Marcos. Inti clarifies that he's pansexual and falls for the energy of people having sex. Adrian looks like he's going to kiss Inti, but Inti kisses him on the cheek and leaves. Lucas wears a mask and comes to Camilla's room to fix her camera. When she hears him, he attacks her on the head and leaves. Miguel hears Lucas coming back, but Lucas gets angry at him and threatens to tell everyone that he's having sex with the neighbor. All this while, Angela is meeting Inti in secret and hooking up with him. Camila is injured, but drags herself outside and asks Rafael for help. Miguel and all the neighbors watch Camila getting into the ambulance after the attack. Camila gets a flashback of her childhood when her mother attacked her abusive dad so he wouldn't hurt her. News about the intruder spreads, and Chris feels responsible for selling the house to Camila. Adrian is more concerned about discussing Inti and how he's thinking of offering him a swimming instructor spot at the spa. Chris seems sure Adrian is attracted to Inti and teases him. Inti knows Angela called him to hook up again because Miguel did something. David drives Camila home because he's worried about her. When the cops come to investigate, Camila suggests Vincent might be behind the attack. He has beaten her up before. Lucas panics and calls Angela because he's worried about the cops finding his cameras. The cops can't find any signs of forced entry and wonder why Camila doesn't remember if she locked the house when her husband was away for work. Pedro and Angela come to check on Camila and spy on her. They learn that Camila's stalker, Vincent, only arrived in Colombia that morning. Vincent goes straight to David's grandma's hotel for a room. Pedro asks Tina to find out whatever Miguel's private investigator has on Camila. Pedro then asks Luigi, Miguel and Anegla to open an envelope in front of them. It contains photos of Camila as Red Velvet, the famous exotic dancer. When Angela leaves, Pedro asks if the boys met Camila in Vegas. When Miguel starts defending himself, Pedro claims he's joking. Camila shows the photo from Miguel's locker to Danny at the spa, who recognizes her as Jimena Santos. She lived in House G before Camila. Inti takes Adrian for a dive, but things get heated, and they end up sleeping with each other. Adrian stops him because he doesn't like being unfaithful. Sophia's children, Damien and Nico, keep giggling when she mentions Camila. They're forced to admit that Lucas showed them a video of Camila changing in her room. Miguel hears Angela scolding Lucas for hitting Camila and leaving her unconscious. Sophia comes to Angela's place angrily and informs her about the naked video of Camila. Inti and Adrian pretend in front of Chris that nothing happened, but Chris insists he wants to go diving with them next time. Miguel finds the laptop under Lucas's bed and confronts him about attacking Camila. Angela defends Lucas and shows Miguel the video of him having sex with Camila. She asks him to understand why his son is acting out. She's also angry that he cheated on her again. Angela is tired of Miguel's lies and asks for a divorce. Chris tries to have sex with Adrian, but he can't get the image of Inti out of his head and stops him. When he leaves to get ready, Chris reads a message from Inti. It suggests that things got heated at sea. Camila visits Jimena and asks her for help. After cracking a huge deal for Riviera Diamante in Colombia, Pedro wants to throw a huge party that night itself. Jimena admits that she once created a profile on an app when things weren't going well with her husband. Miguel was her neighbor, but he was texting her on the app using Fernando's photos. She soon found out that it was him, but she didn't mind sleeping with him. They both kept lying to their families, but Jimena felt addicted to the sex. One day, Miguel promised that he would divorce Angela for her. She left her husband for him, but he never turned up and told her that he couldn't lose his children. Jimena asks Camila to understand that Miguel will never give up Pedro's money for anything. Tina starts taking pictures of Camila and David. This reminds Camila of the time Tina came to visit her at the club in Las Vegas. Chris confronts Adrian about the message, but he denies that anything happened with Inti. As Camila thanks David for being there for her, he almost kisses her. Angela decides not to mention the divorce to Pedro till after the party. She holds Miguel responsible for ruining the family and asks him to find a hotel room. Adrian isn't attending Pedro's party because of the restaurant, but he still admits to Inti that he can't stop thinking about him. Pedro sends a car to pick David and Camila up, but the driver is Vincent. Angela wants support from her brother, but he's too busy. Angela then bursts out at Camila for destroying her family and informs her that she's divorcing Miguel. Sophia can't believe that Camila is a stripper and gets all judgmental with taunts about her f***ing around. When Pedro learns that Angela asked Miguel for a divorce, he assures her of all the support to get rid of him. Miguel keeps trying to kiss Camila, but Sophia catches them. Pedro is fascinated by how Camila became red velvet and apologizes for Sofia's rudeness. Meanwhile, Sofia scolds Miguel for throwing himself at Camila. Pedro asks Sofia to stop creating a scene and disrespecting Camila by calling her a prostitute. Pedro even threatens to fire Luigi from the company so they can live elsewhere. Inti stays behind to help Adrian wrap up and tries to seduce him. He directly asks Adrian not to get married to Chris. David is speaking to some investors about a hotel, so Camila asks him to stay back while she looks for a cab. When Pedro learns of this, he asks his driver, Diego, to drop her off at home. What they don't know is that Diego is tied in the back seat, while Vincent, whose face is still hidden, offers her some water. Camila starts feeling dizzy, but asks the driver to stop when she knows he's taking a wrong turn. The next morning, when David can't find Camila, he reports it to the police. Pedro also informs the cops that his driver, Diego, was supposed to drop her off at home. A quick call from Tina confirms that Diego never made it home last night. Camila wakes up in the car to find Vincent trying to force himself on her. She knows that he spiked the water and struggles to get out. Adrian is surprised to learn that Miguel cheated on Angela. Inti comes to the brother-sister duo to brag about his new job at the spa thanks to Adrian. Camila escapes from Vincent's grasp for a while, but he manages to get her back. She keeps remembering how violent he was with her, after which her friends forced her to file a restraining order. Camila pretends to hear Vincent out so she can text David her location. David shows Miguel the message, and they both get on the road and inform the cops. Vincent soon realizes she's texting someone and throws her phone out of the car. Camila tries to clarify that she doesn't love him anymore. She attacks him and runs straight out of the car into David's arms, while the cops arrest Vincent. Chris informs Inti that 2 years ago, he had split up with Adrian for a while. That's when he called Inti over, and didn't know until after the sex that Inti was an escort. Inti also doesn't know that after Chris passed out that night and he took him to the hospital, he spent 6 months in rehab because of his previous addiction problems. Angela is also worried about Inti working at the spa, because she doesn't want anyone to find out about them. When Inti kisses her, someone captures that moment. Chris comes clean to Adrian about that night 2 years ago when he slept with Inti. Vincent agrees to give the cops any information they want if they give him 10 minutes with Camila. David continues to take care of Camila and suggests that she should pick a man like him to fall in love with. Pedro asks Tina to make sure she takes care of Vincent because she got him there. Miguel finds Cash in Lucas's room and confronts him about it. Camila informs her mom that she's sending a lawyer to help her get out of prison. Miguel then comes over to inform her that Lucas attacked her the other night. He disconnects the cameras, which Lucas also notices. Sofia finds Miguel and Camila walking out of her house and starts abusing Camila for being shameless. Camila hits her in the face, after which she rants to Angela about it. Miguel snatches the computer from Lucas and threatens to put him in jail if he doesn't cooperate. Lucas skips school again and informs Pedro that Miguel turned off the cameras. He assures Pedro that everyone thinks he bought the cameras with his own money. Angela agrees to meet Camila, but doesn't seem to care that Miguel deceived Camila as Fernando. Miguel asks Luigi about a company called Optics, which made the cameras in Camila's room. Luigi identifies it as the brand of security cameras Pedro uses. Miguel then seems sure that Pedro is using Lucas for his dirty work, and confronts Pedro about it. The cops call Camila to the station, where Vincent insists that she should go back to Vegas. He thinks Camila's life is in danger if she doesn't do what the guys who hired her tell her to. He claims that the same woman hired him to keep an eye on her. Camila just asks him to stay away, but gets scared when she spots Tina outside. She remembers the time Tina offered her a job and told her that Fernando is Miguel. When Angela confronts Pedro about the cameras, he claims they're part of a project he's working on. Adrian comes home to find Inti in his house and flirting with him. He's worried about Chris, who is already there, and suggests having a threesome. He seems sure Inti is a part of Adrian's fantasies. Soon enough, they convince Adrian to sleep with them. Tina visits Vincent in the hotel room and straps him to the bed when he asks for money. Adrian makes coffee for Inti the next morning, and they discuss how great last night was. Chris feels jealous when he watches them kiss, but they all get busy hiding Inti when Angela arrives at the house. Pedro knows Angela suspects him, but doesn't want to give up on his plan yet. He feels bad that his children chose horrible partners. Tina doesn't understand Pedro's issue with Chris, so Pedro rants about him being useless and an addict. Miguel comes to drop off the laptop at Camila's place. He still wants to get it checked because he thinks someone else is accessing the cameras. Camila remembers the time Tina came to meet her at the club. She offers her $200,000 to travel to Cartagena and confirm whether Fernando is Miguel. Angela tries to taunt Tina, but she shows her the photo of her kissing Inti to remind her that she can't throw tantrums. David's grandma, Hortensia, is worried about a guest who hasn't left his room for a long time. When David goes to check with her, they find Vincent's body. While the cops investigate Vincent's murder, Adrian is mad at Chris for initiating a threesome without discussing it with him. The cops get hold of a recording of Vincent mentioning that Tina hired him to keep an eye on Camilla. She insists that Vincent must be deranged and claims that she doesn't know Tina. Inti assures Tina that he's almost ready to remove Chris from the picture. Miguel comes to check up on Camilla at night and sleeps with her. When they wake up, Miguel is sure Camilla knew she was getting recorded all along. He also thinks she knows Pedro from before. He shows her a video of Tina coming to visit her. What he doesn't know is that Tina officially hired Camilla that day. Camilla still denies it, and David also gets upset when he realizes that Camilla slept with Miguel. Camilla is tired of lying, but Tina reminds her that she signed a contract. Meanwhile, the cops find Tina's images from the hotel where Vincent was murdered. Angela calls Miguel on the day she's about to become the CEO of Ferrer Barragan. She invites him to the ceremony and informs him about something Sofia told her about Luigi. Angela gets distracted in the middle of her speech when Camilla also arrives. Pedro tries to make Angela believe that Miguel invited her to make her angrier. When Inti keeps flirting with Adrian, Chris reminds them that they can't keep doing things without him. Miguel attacks Luigi for uploading Camila's video, but the cops come to arrest him for identity theft. Angela orchestrated it by informing Fernando that her husband was using his photos. Inti and Camila formally meet Tina and Pedro. He thinks of them as his executors, who will help him save his legacy. His doctor has found a tumor in his brain, and he has only 3 months to live. This is why he needs Camila and Inti to make sure that Miguel and Chris are out of their partners' lives that week itself. This time, Inti gets bolder with Adrian, who surprises Chris with a threesome. Inti then puts some powder in Chris's drawer the next morning and uploads some videos. Inti shows Adrian a video, after which he confronts Chris for having an OnlyFans account. Pedro finds Angela sleeping with Inti and threatens to shoot him. Angela doesn't like Pedro judging her and refuses to acknowledge that her behavior is stupid. When Angela's kids leave for a sleepover, Camilla informs her that she's going back to Vegas. She also admits that her dad hired her. Angela thinks Camilla is lying and attacks her. Camilla responds by stabbing Angela in her shoulder. When Miguel gets called to the house, he finds Angela crying because she murdered Camilla by mistake. Angela forces Miguel to help her get rid of Camilla's body. She asks him to take it to their old property near the ocean. As Miguel drives away, he gets a call from Inti. When Miguel gets back, Angela assures him that she has taken care of the security cameras. Angela and Miguel then pretend in front of David and the cops that they haven't seen Camilla in a while. Angela confronts Pedro for hiring people to break up her marriage and keeping secrets like he did with her mother. She also doesn't believe that he has a tumor and admits that she murdered Camila. Since Miguel helped her, she knows their family will have to protect him. When Adrian doesn't believe Chris about the videos and the substance, Chris packs up and leaves. David informs Miguel that the cameras Lucas used are rerouted to the IP address of the hotel where Pedro lives. After a week, Camila's body still hasn't been found. In the car, Miguel asks when Angela started sleeping with Inti. Angela refuses to believe that Pedro hired Inti to break up Adrian's relationship too. She starts messing with the car and ends up overturning it. She slips out while Miguel keeps begging for her to save him. She keeps walking till the car bursts into flames. At Miguel's funeral, the cops arrest Tina for Vincent's murder. When Inti tries to support Adrian, Pedro asks him to remember his limits. Inti threatens to expose Pedro and asks him to accept him as his son-in-law. Adrian also realizes that he doesn't want to be with Inti and asks him to leave. Camila comes out of Angela's room and surprises her. On the day Angela thought she had murdered Camila, Miguel found out that Camila was still breathing. He played along and took her to the old property. Tina found her there and tied her up, but Camila freed herself and called David. That's when David informed her that Miguel had an accident. Miguel also steps out from behind Camila and accuses Angela of leaving him behind in the car. Angela gets scared of them and pulls out her gun. Miguel then informs Angela that her mother had an affair with a man named Walter, who is Chris's father. Adrian also overhears that Pedro tried to break up Adrian and Chris because they're half-brothers. Pedro comes to check on the commotion, but Angela starts shooting everywhere. Miguel and Camila fall from the building after getting shot, while Pedro also takes a bullet. The cops find Miguel and Camila on the floor and take them to the hospital. 1 month later, Adrian meets Angela, who is under arrest, to inform her that no one came to Pedro's funeral. Camila is learning how to walk again with support from David, but she smiles when she looks at Miguel. David then drives Camila to the prison to get her mother released. They watch Camila's comeback as Red Velvet, but Miguel is always around. A married man with children asks Red Velvet, with whom he has been chatting for 2 weeks, to meet him. A blonde woman spikes his drink and ties him up. After having sex with him, she suffocates him with a plastic bag. Camila has started taking therapy with Joaquin and describes a recurring sexual dream with Miguel. She's about to marry David the following day, but she keeps feeling like Miguel is keeping an eye on her. Camila performs as Red Velvet on the stage before her bachelorette party with the girls. She gets a call from Miguel, who knows what she's wearing and keeps flirting. Her friends think it might be a prank call. She promises to meet David later in the room, but gets another call from Miguel. He confesses his love for her and asks her not to get married. She gets hassled and tries to look for Miguel in a boat, which turns out to be Inti's. He has heard that Angela is getting released from prison, 18 months after she was convicted for Pedro's murder. Inti suggests teaming up with Camila so they can expose the Ferrer family and get more money. Camila doesn't care about money anymore because she has started her own business, and David is doing well too. Inti has spent all the money he got from Pedro on his boat. Camila walks out, but someone attacks her, and she wakes up in the hospital. She's weak but refuses to postpone the wedding. A housekeeper finds Red Velvet's victim, Jesus Franco, tied up and immersed in a bathtub. When Angela gets released from jail, she thanks Gloria for taking care of both her kids. She's surprised that Adrian didn't come to receive her. Meanwhile, Hortensia happily hands over David to Camila during the wedding ceremony. The new neighbors at Riviera Esmeralda all greet Angela. Vanessa is the wife of the new president of their company, Santiago. She also meets Laura, whose son Esteban is Lucas's friend. David and Camila exchange vows and happily get married. Angela informs her kids that she's finally divorcing Miguel, but Eva is not happy. Angela decides to visit Adrian and is shocked to find him tied up inside the pool with his head covered. She shouts for help, so Vanessa calls an ambulance. After their first dance, Camila takes Silvina and Erica to the bathroom. Camila gets another call from Miguel and rushes to the docks to threaten him. Miguel feels hurt that Camila married David when what they have is more real. Camila keeps asking him to leave and reminds him that their relationship was built on a lie. Miguel refuses to believe that she doesn't feel the same way about him. David takes Miguel on a boat with his friend Zorro, while Camila meets Inti at the wedding. Chris joins Angela to grieve for Adrian and admits that he came there because Adrian called him. David asks Miguel to stop chasing his wife, and Zorro throws him in the water so he can swim away. As the detectives examine the similarities between Jesus Franco's and Adrian's bodies, someone calls Chris to House G. Chris finds someone he didn't expect swimming in the pool. Soon after, Angela finds Chris's body in the pool and identifies him as her half-brother. The detectives have found from his phone that he was messaging a profile called Red Velvet, just like Jesus Franco and Adrian. When Angela hears Red Velvet, she immediately knows who it is. The detectives, Indira Martinez, who is the lead investigator, and her partner, Sergio Lobos, find Camila. They inform her that 3 men have been murdered in the last 2 days after speaking to someone using her profile. Camila learns that her account on the dating app is being used to murder men during sex. All of them have suffered a heart attack. Indira can tell from the way Adrian was tied up that it was consensual, but Angela has no idea if he was into bondage. She still claims she was very close to Adrian. Joaquin asks Camila to close her eyes for her therapy. She admits that while David is her sense of calm and peace, Miguel is all about passion and desire. She can't get over their sexual chemistry, and she last gave in to the desire for him a 1.5 years ago. Indira finds Inti at Adrian's funeral, but he refuses to answer her questions. Santiago officially introduces himself and asks Angela to take all the time to get back to the office. She learns that all the neighbors were very close to Adrian. He even mentioned going out with an ex recently, because of whom he suffered. When Camila is in the tub, she hears someone and steps out. It turns out to be Miguel, and she tries to resist him, but she kisses him and feels all the passion with him. Miguel hides when David gets back and informs Camila that he's taking the speedboat to look for Inti's sailboat. He wants to ask Inti if he saw anything the night Camila was attacked. Miguel keeps trying to force himself on Camila, but she pushes him off and asks him to leave. Inti takes Angela to his boat and apologizes for everything that happened. He claims he has feelings for her, but she doesn't believe him. She assumes Inti must have murdered Adrian and did the same to Chris. David finds Inti on the boat and asks if he saw someone attacking Camila. Inti claims he doesn't know anything and asks them to leave. The detectives find a video of Inti entering Riviera Esmeralda on the night Chris was murdered. Chris's father, Walter, blames Adrian for making Chris gay and wrecking his life. Chris was about to marry a woman until he got a call from Adrian to meet him. Angela refuses to let him insult her brother and reminds him that he ruined her parents' marriage. The detectives inform Angela that Inti is a suspect, but she wants them to target Camilla. When Camilla and David drop her mom off at the airport, she asks Camilla to be nice to David. Vanessa encourages Laura to meet Mateo from a dating app, with whom she has been chatting for a long time. The detectives confirm that Chris consumed substances, including scopolamine, before he was murdered. Scopolamine was also used in the attack on Camilla. They also know that all 3 bodies were cleaned, have marks on their wrists, but only Adrian had a mask on. There are too many similarities, but their main connection is the same dating app. Laura is really enjoying her date with Mateo. Angela comes to meet Camilla, who offers her genuine condolences for Adrian and Chris. Angela still thinks Camilla murdered them, and someone paid her to ruin her life again. When she leaves, the cops come to search Inti's boat with a warrant. They arrest him when they find the 3 substances Chris consumed before his murder. Inti claims he hasn't seen Chris in more than a year, but they show him the footage. Inti remembers the time Chris found him in the pool that night. He created a fake profile on the app because Chris wasn't answering his calls. He asked Chris to work with him so they could get money from the farers. Miguel comes to meet his kids after 1.5 years and begs Angela to cut him some slack. Angela thinks Miguel only came to Cartagena after learning that Camilla is getting married. David tries to have sex with Camilla, but she stops him midway because she can't stop picturing Miguel. She denies that she's still in love with Miguel and assures David that no one will destroy the wonderful world they have created. Angela finally allows Miguel to spend time with Ava and asks Lucas to stop resenting his father. Laura shares the details of her magical date with Vanessa. Mateo just turns up there, charms Vanessa, and takes Laura out on another date. Inti insists he's not into sadomasochism, even when Indira keeps trying to get a confession out of him. She claims that his saliva was found on Adrian and traces of his DNA on Chris. Inti refuses to speak without a lawyer, but he doesn't have the money for one. Santiago shows Angela around the new office. He suggests that she should let his team handle the business. Their stock is volatile, and people in the Madrid office don't want her on board because of her criminal record. Angela reminds him that this business is her father's legacy and threatens to fire him if he doesn't let her do what she wants. Inti calls her to ask for a lawyer, but Angela asks him to deal with it himself. Jimena comes to Indira because her husband has been missing for 3 weeks. She knows the murderer is after unfaithful men and admits that she's in an open marriage after her sting with Miguel. Mateo takes Laura for a picnic and a swim in the ocean where they come across a body. Miguel meets Camila at the club and is sure she also feels the chemistry between them. Erica, who is dating Zorro, has mentioned that she saw Miguel leaving Camila's room. She begs Zorro not to tell David about this, but he does. Miguel hasn't had sex with anyone in 500 days because of therapy. Their kiss yesterday was his first one in a long time, and he's willing to wait for her. He's sure from the way her body responds to him that she feels the same way. Indira catches them in a heated moment, but Camila insists she doesn't have any more information. Joaquin has been creepily listening to Camila's sessions and watching her video. Meanwhile, David confronts Camila about Miguel being in their room. David brings Camila to Indira to file a restraining order against Miguel. Esteban seems awkward about Laura dating Mateo, but tries to get used to it. Angela invites all the neighbors to the house, where Laura turns up late and informs them about the body. Angela searches for it online and finds out that it was Ignacio Santos, Jimena's husband. When Angela goes to the kitchen, Emmanuel, their neighbor, follows her and kisses her on the kitchen table. Joaquin asks Camila to take control of her emotions and realize that she is too good for Miguel. When Gloria shows Angela her new office, a woman in the Madrid office asks Santiago to get rid of Angela. Santiago calls someone and asks them to speed up the plan. German Rivera calls Camila to work with her on the golden lips she wants to open in Mexico. Indira learns that Ignacio has been underwater for about 20 days. It's clear that he suffered a blow, but was also assaulted during sex. He had also consumed GHB and cocaine, which makes Indira think that the murderer has been perfecting his technique. Inti keeps getting harassed in prison by other men. Inti's name and photos keep coming up, but Indira is worried because he has a solid alibi for all murders except Chris's. Camila informs Joaquin that she's traveling to Mexico for 4 days. Camila and David are glad to be alone in Mexico, but Camila wants to get a massage before their meeting with German. She lies down for her massage, but her masseuse leaves in the middle and hands her over to Miguel. When he massages her, Camila feels a lot of pleasure and keeps remembering how Miguel touched her. She tries to chase after the man who gave her the massage and finds out that it was Miguel. He wanted to get her out of Cartagena because of the restraining order. He assures her that her deal with German is still real, but she asks him to stop stalking her. The woman at the hotel Ignacio frequented confirms that Inti was going by the name Franco and was with him. Camila panics and calls Joaquin from her room because she's worried that she can't control herself around Miguel. When she cuts the call, Joaquin starts looking at flights to Mexico. German's executive assistant, Olga, receives Camila and David. German is glad to finally meet Camila and even recognizes Silvina, who is the club's partner. When Indira shows Jimena a photo of Inti, she also recognizes him as Franco. Erica confronts Camila because she saw her with Miguel earlier. Camila insists that Miguel is after her, but Erica thinks it's because Camila is leading him on. Vanessa feels embarrassed that she saw Angela in the kitchen with Emmanuel, but Angela asks her not to worry. Esteban calls Laura when she's with Mateo and doesn't reveal that he's outside Mateo's place. When Laura and Mateo step out for a drink, Mateo's wallet gets stolen. Santiago, who has bugged Angela's office, learns that Angela was one of Inti's clients. Erica notices Miguel hanging around and asks him to stop bothering Camila. Miguel starts fighting with her, and Camila also comes to support Erica and calls security. When Laura leaves for dinner at Vanessa's place, Esteban takes out the wallet he stole from Mateo. Everyone loves Vanessa's paella, but Santiago starts criticizing it and thinks it's dry. Angela scolds him for being rude to his wife. Inti gets bailed out by Tina, who has a new job for him. When everyone leaves, Santiago still scolds Vanessa for embarrassing him with her cooking. Laura, Angela, and Emmanuel discuss how horrible Santiago is before Emmanuel takes Angela to his place. Erica asks Camila to enjoy the party with David while she heads to her room. Someone attacks Erica, but she finally knows who the murderer is. When Camila and David get back to the hotel, Erica's body falls on the roof of their car. Camila seems sure someone pushed Erica. The next morning, German calls Camila to set up a meeting before she leaves for Cartagena. Indira examines Erica's hotel room and is sure it's connected to the other murders. Santiago is working with Tina and has hired Inti to stay in Riviera Esmeralda so he can make sure that Angela leaves the company. German's meeting with Camila is interrupted by Miguel, who cashed in on a favor German owes him. Miguel urges Camila to leave with him on German's jet so she can be free. When he kisses her this time, Camila also admits that she can't resist him. She ends up giving in to her desires and having sex with him. Olga calls David and takes her to German's room, where he catches Miguel and Camila. She feels bad for falling into the temptation, but David returns his wedding ring. Miguel plans to take Camila to Vegas again on German's private jet, but Camila doesn't join him. Inti is the new swimming coach, but Angela isn't happy about it. Feliciano introduces himself to Inti and helps him out when he faints in the pool. Emmanuel takes Angela to his secret playroom, where he ties her up to help her feel more pleasure. Santiago asks Inti to lie about Angela hiring him as an escort before he turned 18. Camila blocks Miguel and starts missing David. This is when Indira calls her with a proposition. Santiago thinks Vanessa is not firm enough with the kids and suggests that he keeps her around only to cook for him. She walks away to rant about him to Angela, but she gets distracted when she notices Camila moving into the neighborhood again. Camila assures Angela that she's only there to find her friend's murderer. Camila teams up with Indira to set up a fake profile on the app as an unfaithful man to match with Red Velvet. Meanwhile, Angela keeps ranting about how much she hates Camila to Vanessa. Indira thinks this murderer probably feels they're doing a favor to society by getting rid of unfaithful men. Indira assures Camila that she'll always have security and that Silvina will also live with her. Camila matches with Red Velvet and starts texting with them as Gael, who wants to have casual sex and is tired of his wife. Inti finds Angela swimming and asks about her sex life with Emmanuel. He suggests he's better for her and tries to get closer to her. Emmanuel watches them with jealousy. Indira keeps trying to figure out if Miguel is involved in all the crimes, but he doesn't give her anything solid. Emmanuel tries to be a friendly neighbor to Camila, but Angela watches them and feels jealous. Camila is distracted and asks Red Velvet to meet her the following day. While drinking with Angela, Vanessa admits that she has been fantasizing about her. Angela then kisses her, after which Santiago invites them to Emmanuel's house. During all this, Inti catches them kissing. Angela doesn't like that Camila is at Emmanuel's house, but he points out that she was also apparently flirting with Inti earlier. Red Velvet agrees to meet Gael, but they only want to share the location half an hour before the date. Camila changes her route on the way to her date on Red Velvet's instructions. She still asks Indira to keep tracking her. Sergio is also right behind her, but Camila gets onto a boat and disappears. The network is weak on the island Camilla is in, and Red Velvet calls her inside a cabin. Indira's team finds out from the GPS that she's on Manacoa Island, and they follow her. Camilla gets locked inside the cabin, and someone sets the whole place on fire. Sergio rescues her, but Camilla falls down and can't see properly. Angela points a gun at Camilla's back as she struggles to get up. She leaves when she hears Miguel coming towards her. David and Miguel start arguing in the hospital, but Joaquin asks them to calm down. Camilla suffers some moderate eye damage because of the smoke, but the doctor is sure she'll regain her vision soon. When Indira learns that Sergio passed away on the way to the hospital, she breaks down. Vanessa informs Angela about the attack on Camilla, and she pretends to be surprised. Santiago hears them discussing something that happened between them. Indira doesn't want Sergio's sacrifice to go to waste and is more determined to find the murderer. She learns that traces of scopolamine were found in the cabin, along with semen residue matching Miguel's. Camila thanks Miguel for rescuing her, but also finds it suspicious that he just turned up on the island. He claims she called him there and plays a voice recording from an unknown number. Camila denies sending it, so Indira asks to examine Miguel's phone. Esteban doesn't trust Mateo with Laura, even though he gave her his blessing to go out with him. When Joaquin doesn't let Miguel meet Camila, Miguel asks him to go home. Angela turns up at Emmanuel's place and asks him to tie her up again. During this time, Vanessa tries to meet Angela. When Santiago goes out for a run, she follows him to Inti's house. Miguel offers to help Camila track down the culprit. When he kisses her, Camila knows she doesn't want to resist her feelings for him anymore. They end up having sex, but Angela is watching them secretly. Angela picks up a call from Vanessa, who thinks Santiago is cheating on her with someone in House B. Santiago doesn't believe Inti when he claims that Vanessa and Angela are sleeping together. He goes home to check Vanessa's phone and hears a message about how obsessed Vanessa is with Angela. Joaquin comes to meet Camila when she's not there, and Silvina finds him smelling her pillow. Miguel asks Indira to investigate Joaquin because he's sure the man is obsessed with Camila. Angela gets the keys to House B and finds Inti in the pool. Eva asks Miguel to live with her because she's scared of Angela sometimes. Angela refuses to believe that Inti is renting the house and asks him to vacate the place. When Lucas leaves for a sleepover, Angela asks Eva to sleep early and locks her door from the outside. She starts cooking lobster for Tina, who is surprised that Angela isn't insulting her. When Tina shares that Pedro used to harass her, Angela gets angry and throws boiling water on her. She even stabs Tina, but rushes to Eva's room to ask why she's screaming. She assures Eva that everything is fine downstairs and locks her again. When she's back, Tina is missing and trying to call Inti. When he finally picks up her call, she begs for help and takes Angela's name. She's not fast enough, because Angela finds her and finishes her off. Angela asks her accomplice to throw her body somewhere far away. Miguel takes Camila to a golf tournament Angela is hosting, so they can find the murderer in the crowd. Laura offers to drop Mateo off at the airport, but he insists his company will take care of it. Tina's body is found in the lake near the tournament, so Indira wants to interrogate everyone. Angela starts crying and claims that Tina left her place early for a date with someone. Angela agrees to accompany Vanessa to her house, who thinks Angela has been ignoring her. Angela assures her that she's not, and kisses her. Camila comes for another session with Joaquin and admits that she slept with Miguel. He starts judging her for being all about sex and calls her a desperate woman. Camila tries to leave, but he locks the door. Santiago finds Vanessa having sex with Angela in the shower and slaps her. When he almost strangles Angela, Vanessa shoots him in the head. Angela helps Vanessa get rid of Santiago's body. Joaquin claims he has developed a compulsion for Camila and wants her help to heal. She plays along so she can text someone for help, but he snatches her phone. His assistant Dana lets Indira and Miguel in so they can save Camila. Indira searches his office and arrests him for recording his clients. David asks Camila to sign the divorce papers and is sad that he couldn't make her love him. Vanessa doesn't understand how Angela is so relaxed and wants to turn herself in. Angela asks her to understand that no one will take care of their kids if they're in jail. Indira informs Angela that she's sure the murderer is a woman. She also thinks the evidence against Miguel was planted on the island. Angela claims she has never heard about Manacoa Island before the incident, but Indira knows that the property is in her mother's name. Laura keeps messaging and calling Mateo when she hasn't heard from him in days. When she learns that Santiago is also missing for 3 days, she comforts Vanessa. Indira finds out that Emmanuel is into sadomasochism and asks to see his secret room. He shows her around and insists that he only uses natural fibers and not leather cords. Laura drops by Mateo's house, but another couple is living there. Esteban has done some research and shows Laura that Mateo, whose real name is Alonso, is an escort who has deceived many women like her. Miguel informs Angela that he's dating Camila officially, and she pretends to be happy for him. Later, with Emmanuel, he begs her to stop when she almost chokes him with the ropes. When he mentions that she's still in love with Miguel, Angela gets angry and suffocates Emmanuel with a bag. Camila finds Emmanuel like that, and Angela doesn't even try to hide it. Joaquin comes from behind Camila and renders her unconscious. Angela asks Joaquin, who is her accomplice, to get rid of Camila while she takes care of the cameras. It turns out that Joaquin was Angela's psychiatrist in prison. Laura asks Inti to check a photo, and he recognizes Mateo as Alonso, who worked with him at an agency in Barranquilla. Laura drives down to Barranquilla and finds Mateo there. Camila wakes up on a boat with Joaquin, who ties her up and informs her that he met Angela as his patient. They soon became lovers and partners in an experiment to hurt the unfaithful men. He became Red Velvet and chose some candidates with a negla to attack. She chose the first victim, Ignacio. Angela and Joaquin then practice sadomasochism so she can learn more about how to take revenge on the Miguels of the world. He helps her commit the first murder by getting in touch with Ignacio through the app. He arranges for Angela to get a medical leave for a day so she can use her body to murder him. He admits that he messed up by murdering Adrian, but he didn't want to share Angela's love with anyone else. Joaquin tries to shoot Camila too, but Miguel comes from behind and fights with him. Indira finally shoots Joaquin and brings him down. Vanessa and Angela take a boat to go somewhere far away where they can start over.